Hello viewers. So today I'll start with one emoji converter program. Before I'll deep dive into the program, and I'll request you all, if you have not seen our previous videos, please go and watch that videos, because we have started this tutorial from scratch. So in this video, what I'll do, I'll take an input message, and based on whether it's a sad or smiley face, I'll print the smiley. So to do this, I'll be using a dictionary and a for loop that will check the message and print. Now, first of all, what I'll do, I'll take the input, I'll split the message into, I'll check every words what user has typed, and if anything is matched with this, then I'll replace it with the face, smiley or sad face. Let me show you. So write the message. If I'll write like this, you can see the smiley face appears. So this is just a small program where we have seen the use of input dictionary function, how you can split a word, like I have split this with the help of split function, then a for loop, and then I checked from the dictionary if it is available the word that user has typed in. Moving ahead, I'll show you how to write a function. So to write a function in Python, def is the keyword that you need to remember, and then the function name. So first of all, I'll run this program and see what it prints. I've defined a welcome message function and then two values in it. Remember, we don't have any curly braces to start and stop. Anything after the indentation, it will be marked as end of function. See here, method gets called, method ends, and then these two messages gets printed. Now, moving ahead, we'll see how to write a function with parameters that we will see here. Welcome message, like previously we have not passed any parameter to this method. This time we will pass one parameter. We have defined a message, welcome message functions, and which is parameterized, and I'll pass the argument from here. Remember, this is the parameter and this is the argument that we pass. People sometimes gets confused, what is argument, what is parameter. So this is the argument and this is the parameter. Now if I'll run it, welcome, and this name should appear, welcome Amit. Remember, F I have used for formatting. Now I'll also show you some tricky thing in Python. This is a parameterized function, but which accepts age and email, but it is not necessary to pass both these if we will pass the named argument, named parameter. So if I can write email and age, it will match with it. So if I'll run it, age 30 and email this. See, it matches this with the parameter. So this is named parameter that is also available in case of Python. Now I'll show you some return statement, how to get a return statement in Python, function with return statement. Now I have defined a calculate age function which accepts one parameter and it will return you the your age. And this I have, so this is the function where which I'm calling, and I'm collecting the return value in age, and then I'm printing it. So I'll run here age of user. So if it is 1984, age of user is 36. So this is how function returns in Python. Now I'll start with next program, which is about exceptions. How to handle exceptions in Python. So to show you what is exceptions, let me do this. What I will do, I'll take an input, enter a host number in this. So what is exception? Exception is thrown when exception handling means how to handle errors or exceptions in the program. Here I'll check exceptions for wrong input data. If I'll run it, enter a host number. So suppose I have written 12, which is fine because this is the number. I'm converting input into number. Now if I'll run it again, and instead of number, if I write anything string which cannot be converted into int, it will throw me the exceptions. Now how to make sure that how to do the exception handling for this. So to do that, what I'll there is remember there is a try and except. Remember these keywords try and except. Those codes that we need to do exception handling, we need to write under try, and if there is exception, what we need to do, that we need to write inside except. So this is the value error that I'm catching because input value I'm evaluating here. So in this case, this time if I'll write even though string values, it is program catches the exceptions and invalid value gets displayed. Program doesn't gives any errors. Like last time, program exits with errors after errors. Now we'll see some arithmetic exceptions. Like number divided by 0, as we know number divided by 0 gives division by 0 error, so which is not a value error, so we need to catch division by 0 error here. Enter host number, this is the first program that is getting executed. So let me comment it on this line so that we will not get confused with this. So since I'm dividing by 0, this raises an exception division by 0, and this is the value that get displayed. Now exception handling is done to make sure that end user didn't get the errors or exceptions, or the program doesn't exit abnormally. To handle the exception gracefully, we do exception handling. Moving ahead, I'll show you how to write a comment in Python. So there are single line comments which you have seen in with a hash. Now what is comment? Comment says that this line of code needs to be ignored by the Python interpreter. Remember, Python is an interpreted language. This is the single line comment. In programming, you must have seen the programmers uses comment to describe the code for document, and it is also used for documentation of code as well. Use comment only if necessary. Don't overload the program with so many comments, unnecessary comments. Use the comments wisely. Now I'll show you how to write a class in Python. Remember, we are not going through theory anywhere. We're just going through the programs, because programs you need to write and understand the programming part if you are a programmer. So how to define a class in Python. Class keyword, and remember the naming conventions. Like with methods, we use underscore, all smaller case, but in case of class, it should be camel case. Like E is capital here. So I've defined a class, and I have defined two methods inside. We have already seen how to define a methods. Now to call the method we need object. So how to create the object of the class? By this. Employee1 is the object that gets created here. Now I'll comment these lines here so that we will understand what we are trying to achieve. Now I have created the methods, the object, and will call the methods with the help of object. Object is an instance of class, so everything in the class is available to object. You can see these two methods gets called, and salary and designation gets printed here. That's how you can call them different methods. Now you can define different attributes of a class using object and print it. Like I have created employee object assigned age 20. I have created another object and assigned 30. Now you have to uh, understand that each object has its own unique space. They don't share a space. So same attribute can have different values for different object. This is common theory for all the programming language. Now if I'll print employee age, in this case it will print separately for both. See, for employee 2 it's 30 which gets printed here, and 20 for employee 1 which gets printed here. So that's how you can write methods, you can define classes, you can define objects. That's how you can call the methods of the class using object. You can define attributes, its values, and this is how you can access it. So I'll stop the video here and we'll continue our training session in the next episode. Thank you, viewers.